What's up, guys? It's superdarkwater. So today I'm going to review Doomsday Clock number 2. I got the Lex Luthor and Ozymandias cover and the Mime and Marionette cover as well. And the winner for the Doomsday Clock giveaway is Tristan Jacoby, so I'll be sending this out to you today. So yeah, Doomsday Clock number 2. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank. I really like where the story is headed. It's got some interesting political nods, but it's it's Watchmen, so it's definitely gonna have some political things going on in it. It cuts to the mime and marionette costumes, and it's Rorschach talking about how in the early 40s supervillains how you became a supervillain was if you're a thug or some gangster, you went and bought your costume from this lady, and you bought your name from her. So a few examples were Dr. Van Gogh, the Telltale Man, Bill the Lizard. So really just corny supervillain names, but it was the thing to do back in the 40s. And it says most of them got the crap beat out of them by the comedian and Night Owl, but a few of them stuck around, obviously. So this is what's confusing for me. If you understand what this little symbol is, someone explain it to me in the comments below, because it looks like an N or a Z, but I thought her name was Marionette. So yeah, this is Marionette, the Harley Quinn type character from this story. And then you got Mime, who's like a crazy version of the Joker that just mimes everything. The Black Rorschach and Ozymandias. So this is the team that's trying to find Dr. Manhattan because he's missing. So in this flashback, it shows this lady in a hijab asking for money for her rent, and I didn't think that was that out of pocket. I mean, it's definitely a plot for a 90s movie. It's kind of trying to show diversity, but it's still, she's asking a white lady for money. That was interesting. But yeah, and then the bank that she's at gets held up by Mime and Marionette, so that's what the flashback is, basically just showing them robbing a bank. And they're really interesting characters. I like these characters. They're definitely Joker and Harley Quinn-esque, but they have kind of a weird twist on them. Well, I don't really know why she is unique, but I guess we'll find out later in the story. So then this mime guy smashes his head through the bulletproof glass, apparently, and threatens the bank teller's daughter. And then the boss of the bank is mad at her because Mime is aiming his literal finger at her, not a real gun, and so he's basically just calling her weak. And obviously this bank teller boss is a jerk, so Marionette does a weird backflip and cuts his finger off with a string. That was pretty unique. So yeah, and then you get this huge Dr. Manhattan reveal, and he shows up, and she says nice briefs. I thought that was funny. And Mime points his finger gun at him, and then Dr. Manhattan is about to kill him because he's kind of losing his mind. He doesn't, but then he sees that she's pregnant, so he doesn't kill her. Diversity Comics thought that it was because he liked boobs or something. But yeah, so then you just get them taking off in Night Owl's, I forgot what this is called, owl plane, I think. And then all the rioters and people down there below are looking up in the sky because basically a nuke is coming, and it just explodes in the city, and just a ton of people die, and it rocks the owl plane. And then it cuts to Mr. Wayne, as in Bruce Wayne, looks like talking to a psychiatrist about these Rorschach images, and they all look like bats if you look at them closely. And then he's talking to, I believe this is Lucius Fox, about how he's failed all the psychological exams needed for his annual board testing for Wayne Industries, and I guess LexCorp is putting the pressure on them. So then, basically, it's classic Bruce Wayne defending that the world needs Batman, and Lucius is like, "Are you sure about that? Because you're kind of losing your mind, dude." And then they get the coolest shot in the book, and it's the bat symbol, and with the night owl like eyes, and it looks so awesome, and it bursts right through. I loved that. That was like one of my favorite things. And so yeah, the night owl like owl plane crashes in Gotham City, apparently because now it can travel interdimensionally or across universes. And they lock up Mime and Marionette so they can't get away. And you see this little genetically engineered Bob Boost. I always forget how to say it. Bubastis? I think it's Bubastis. And then, yeah, you just see Gotham City, and Rorschach and Ozymandias are walking through it. And you see this, like, flashback to, or not a flashback, but like a commercial for a old film noir. And it's actually Nathaniel Dusk, starring Carver Coleman. So that's, if you look that up, that's actual like old like DC character that was an actor, I think. So then you get Ozymandias. Sorry, I'm like trying to catch up my brain. I read this like a week ago. So Ozymandias is having, you know, these like headaches because he's got a tumor in his brain. And they're doing research on the two smartest men in the world, Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne. And obviously Rorschach is going to go try and talk to Bruce Wayne, and Ozymandias claims he's going to talk to the smartest one, meaning Lex. It's funny because they're definitely egotistical. And then cuts to Wayne Manor, and you see this little note from Alfred that says, "Good morning, Bruce," with some breakfast. And of course Rorschach eats it because it's like a trope of the character to break into someone's house and eat their food. And then he's just kind of being a detective, and he sees the clock that opens up to the Batcave, and Batman's down in the Batcave. Looks like he's beating up the Mad Hatter or interrogating him or something. And Rorschach sets off the alarm, and then cuts to Lex Luthor at LexCorp Labs. And this is pretty cool. It says LexCorp personnel go missing. It's like graffiti. And then you get like one of these like paintings like in Batman v Superman. And Ozymandias is just kind of just shows up, and Lex is like, "I'm going to call security." And then he's like, "Oh, well, we need to work together." And then cuts to what's their names? Mime and Marionette. And he says he got a lockpick in his mouth. And so that's kind of funny. So they're apparently going to escape. And then, yeah, Lex and Ozymandias get really philosophical and talk about how humanity is going to crap, basically, how it's going downhill. And then cuts to, there's a lot going on in this book. That's like, there's like a long pause. It's because I'm trying to process what's going on. And then Rorschach is looking at all of Bruce Wayne's like trophies, like the gun that was used to kill his parents, and like all these costumes. And Rorschach is talking about how only monsters would keep trophies like this. Oh, that's cool. You can see the Riddler costume. And he's saying that it's how Walter Kovacs caught so many animals. They couldn't let past go, obsessed with reliving yesterday. So he's saying that Bruce Wayne is obsessed with the past, and it's unhealthy. And so then you get cuts back to Ozymandias protecting his Bubastis from a gunshot, and the gunshot hits Lex, and then someone says, "Last time you came at me, I was confused, drunk." And then Ozymandias is like, "Impossible." and it's the comedian. So yeah, I thought that was pretty badass. This time I'm ready for you. So and then you get Batman and Rorschach. He's like, you ate my breakfast. Yeah, I did. So I don't know. It's just pretty interesting. Like, worlds colliding, characters coming back from the dead. I don't know. Doomsday Clock. Go pick it up. It's a good book. I reviewed the first one. Go watch that video. And yeah, I'll review the next one too. Subscribe. Make sure you still subscribe. And leave a comment below. If I got something wrong or if you want to add something, comment that below. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you think of Doomsday Clock. Yeah, thanks for watching.